Remember when at the very beginning we just talked about the particular risks of the overall project? And everyone, or well, many people, indeed a significant number of individuals, thought that the biggest and most substantial risks were present at the very start of the arduous journey. At this initial stage, when various crucial elements or specific conditions might not yet fully exist or be established, we diligently move forward step by step, progressing through each phase, one distinct stage at a time. Consequently, many of those inherent and potential risks passed by completely unnoticed by the participating individuals and the investing parties. However, here, within the dedicated and vigilant team, of course, we meticulously observed and clearly saw all of them, and subsequently we successfully overcame all these significant and challenging risks. But some people had the mistaken illusion that there are absolutely no risks in the final, truly concluding stages. We clearly saw what happened with the architecture. With this immersive metaverse, they've meticulously checked every minor detail, including the precise color of the walls in all the various bathrooms and so on, right? And I genuinely believe that now there will also be sturdy handrails, thoughtfully placed next to the radiators, with every single step carefully measured down to the exact millimeter. All the other things will already become part of history. And I truly think that the people who are responsible for these specific actions will be pursued for a very long time, because making such a significant mark was indeed well deserved. I believe that many people went around their respective workplaces and carefully checked the steps. In public places, the radiator and so on. But that's already in the past. So, as the old saying goes, what has already passed and the powerful blows that were dealt to you, if you are able to clearly see them coming, you can effectively parry them away. And consequently, they will not pose any significant threat or danger to you whatsoever. The truly dangerous blows are the ones you simply don't see and don't track at all. So, we have already come a long and extensive way together on this project, and there are just a few crucial and final steps left before we can officially receive the necessary permit for the successful commissioning of the system. And now, all the necessary materials are already being meticulously prepared directly for the crucial process of obtaining this important permit. Extensive work is currently underway on the meticulous preparations, because we will have a crucial period of precisely 1 month from the exact moment of official registration and the subsequent conclusion on the successful completion of construction to thoroughly formalize the necessary permit for its official commissioning. We will also have another important task related to registering a newly completed construction project as a property asset. And what is truly important to consider, it is absolutely crucial that by the fourth quarter of this year, we must already be in a position to clearly demonstrate significant and tangible product output. Right now, these engines are being thoroughly tested with a complete package, much like those found in a typical angle grinder, specifically a compact 30mm unit, which is just a relatively small engine, probably about 500 milliliters in total size.
That's right, yes, no more than that.
Yes, but its overall results are rather insignificant and quite unimpressive. This is standard electrical steel, specifically 2412 grade, with a thickness of 0.5 millimeters, which is primarily designed to operate efficiently at 50 Hz. In the laboratory, the engineers and technicians are currently running this particular engine at a much higher frequency of 300 Hz. The engine reaches a synchronous speed of 9,000 revolutions. It's hard to go higher because the load machine can't handle such speeds. That's why we aren't going any higher right now. And this engine demonstrated a power output of just 1.79 kilowatts, which is a relatively modest figure. The observed slip is approximately 3%, indicating a small difference between synchronous and actual rotor speed. Furthermore, the engine's operational efficiency is 80.2%, representing a good level of performance. Well, these are rather modest results. If you carefully look at a regular engine of this particular power output, it's quite substantial indeed, and very solid in its construction. Therefore, the theorem of the undeniable existence of an industrial method for efficiently producing Slavyanka technology has been definitively proven. This is because the unique winding configuration is expertly installed on a standard, readily available machine, utilizing well-established and standard industrial solutions. The individual sections are precisely inserted and meticulously wound on the very same types of machines that are commonly used for manufacturing regular conventional electric motors. The forming equipment is exactly the same, precisely the identical equipment that's utilized in the comprehensive production of standard motors. We meticulously assembled a dedicated test controller for the angle grinder, ensuring its optimal performance. Previously, we only had SMD, surface mount components, and the assembly was done on our own line. But now our specialists, that's Igor Nikolaevich and Sergei Alexandrovich, they launched the selective soldering installation and mounted the through-hole components. Alexander Evgenievich used CNC machines to produce a series of heat sinks using industrial methods. Well, that's drilling holes and cutting threads. It may seem like a very simple operation, but it absolutely should be fully automated. So we thoroughly checked it and then performed a comprehensive test assembly. The parallelism between the heat sink and the circuit board is practically perfect indeed. The thermal contact with the power components is also absolutely ideal, ensuring that the overall quality is truly excellent. This is no longer a process of manual assembly. Unlike when we used to painstakingly solder everything by hand, it's a complete and utter world of difference. So, the technological progress achieved here is indeed quite impressive. That's the news for now. They're relatively small updates, but these are already significant steps toward moving from one foundational stage of work to other, more advanced stages that are directly related to the final production process. Because if you go into the warehouse now, you can clearly see extensive rows of neatly organized stacks of various cores lying there, awaiting further processing. Specifically, these are stacks of precisely manufactured cores that have already had their crucial slot insulation meticulously installed, indicating a readiness for the next phase of assembly and manufacturing. In the bustling workshop, there are a great many wound sections gracefully hanging down from the ceiling. So preparations are underway. All these technologies are gradually being launched. Now regarding the inflow of funds. In August, a total of 26 million rubles came in, delivered in two distinct tranches. The first tranche was 12.5 million, and the second was 13.5 million. All of the money was entirely spent on essential business operations, specifically for purchasing necessary equipment and raw materials. And of course paying salaries and maintaining the building, but now the account balance is zero. It's running out, or in fact has already run out.
Are there any plans to research 4 or 6-phase motors?
Combined windings are 6-phase for connection to a 3-phase network. We've also worked with 4-phase systems, but colleagues, everything in its own time. Yes, and we need to commercialize one thing before moving on to another. Enormous funds have been invested in this direction. A huge amount of money, a lot of time, and a lot of effort have gone into this. That's why it should already be bringing profit, deliver commercial results. Or in Soviet terms, yes, it should be generating profit. That's it. You could spend your whole life just satisfying your curiosity. However, that is not precisely what we are currently focusing on or attempting to accomplish in this particular context. And when this specific direction reaches a certain well-defined level, then we can effectively shift our attention and concentrate on other important areas as well. But trying to do everything at once like that, absolutely not. That would ruin everything. Thank you.
Dmitry Alexandrovich, are the 3 products from Sovelmash still on track for this year?
As I just mentioned, the very same package that is typically used in the angle grinder can effectively range from 30 to 70 millimeters, with precise increments of 5 millimeters, for example. And in total, that's 900 modifications. All of this will be offered. As for implementation, I hope it will happen by the end of the year. Thank you.
Why is it taking so long to deliver the tooling for die casting?
They take a long time to manufacture it, and it takes a long time to deliver. There's a whole range of equipment currently on the way. Just yesterday, in fact, we've already paid for practically everything essential for our operations. This includes all the necessary equipment for which we were originally scheduled to make the next series of payments. Both the overall pace of our manufacturing processes and the rate at which we can place new orders are directly dependent on the precise amount of incoming funds we receive. Consequently, due to these financial constraints, we unfortunately have to forego some important things and make difficult choices.
Are there any current plans to actively cooperate with companies specializing in drone production to gain valuable experience and significantly speed up the manufacturing process?
We're actually quite interested in the fundamental idea that we should specialize in the production of drives, and someone else should specialize in the comprehensive production of drones. Flight controllers should be meticulously made by some specialized group, while surveillance cameras and munitions should be manufactured by completely different, highly specialized experts. Someone should also be responsible for making the flight controller. The frame itself, the supporting structure, should also be made by someone else. That's why specialization and cooperation need to be utilized. There's no point in doing everything in one place. This is absolutely wrong, unequivocally wrong. Right now, we are actively negotiating with various companies that currently specialize in repairing electric machines and are looking to transition into the manufacturing of electric machines. Therefore, why not delegate some specific tasks to them that they are perfectly capable of handling? By all means, that's the first step. We are open to such cooperation. Thank you.